Cameron's brother and also his best man. For some reason, my grandparents, Matt and Iris, keep calling me the worst man. I don't get it. I guess we'll figure out after the speech where I stand. Thanks. I want to start off by thanking everyone for making the trip from near and far, and a special thank you to the Lockwoods, the Weiss family, and the Strauss family. Whoever that was. So I told Cam before we started, I needed to make this speech far enough away that I'd be out of striking distance. So thank you for facilitating that. I appreciate it. He then asked if I would be in throwing distance, so I think I got that covered too. I guess I want to start with saying it's a beautiful occasion. The venue's great. We're happy to officially welcome Catherine to the family, even though she's been an unofficial part of ours for so long. Yeah. Don't laugh, Scott. I've got a lot to say here. I'm going to try and keep it quick because I see plates full of food. So here goes. Show of hands, who here believes in miracles? Anyone? Yeah, a few of you. All right, cool. I'm not a particularly religious person, but I think getting these two to this day qualifies as a miracle. For those of you who aren't familiar with Cam and Catherine's love story, it started at USC. Cam was living with about 15 other dudes at the now infamous Severance house. I paid Cam quite a few visits, but during one visit, I unfortunately had to use his restroom. And I was in shock because I walked in to use it and the shower is piled 6 feet high with dirty laundry. From the entire semester. So he did his laundry once, and that was it. So part of me has always wondered, did Cam shower before his first date with Catherine? Where did he get his shirt? I struggle even more with finding out what shirt he wore the second date. Or the third date. And I wanted to ask you, Catherine, how many dates before you saw a second shirt? Don't worry, you don't have to answer it. All right, so we got a few laughs out of the way. Thanks, Scott. We'll get on to some serious stuff. I'll start with you, Catherine. First, you did it. You tamed the beast. I mean, really? Thank you, not just from me, but of the vast majority of Southern California, parts of Nevada, and even some parts of Mexico. Thank you. You look beautiful. I don't know how you do it on your ice cream diet. But no, seriously, it's been a really good ride. It's been a really good ride. I've seen you mature and grow into a kind, understanding, and graceful human being. And not to mention, you can really untangle the hell out of a necklace. Seriously. We shared some laughs, a bunch of Maui trips, and a million animal facts. Thank you. and I wish you a lifetime of happiness. However, I think that may be somewhat of a challenge to achieve until Cameron learns to lift up the toilet seat. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. I lived with you for 20 years, man. So let's talk about Cam for a bit here. Cam, he's got an uncanny ability to make friends and an electric personality. Dave, who's your best friend?
Cameron Weiss.
Say that again.
Cameron Weiss.
Ryan Garrity, who's your best friend?
Cameron Weiss.
Jonathan Accord, best
Mine.
friend.
It's all mine.
Stephen Georgi,
That's
who's your best friend?
Cameron Weiss.
See, there's about 20 people here who think of Cam as their best friend. Hate to break it to you guys, but I am. And I have been since day one. Some bumps in the road. And I always will be. Growing up with Cam, sorry, I lost my place. Growing up with Cam was mostly a positive experience. However, he did inflict immense physical pain on me from time to time. And from a young age, Cam always looked at the rules more as like rough guidelines. He was always pushing the envelope. He was so generous. He provided me with so much material to tell my parents about. In fact, I would run home from school every day with a list of things that Cameron did that broke the rules, just to get him in trouble. I wasn't benefiting from it. But we did everything together. We had matching outfits, thanks to my mom. We played on the same sports teams. We went to about every sporting event imaginable. And we had the same wonderful group of friends, for the most part, except for those law school guys. I'm joking. Except for you, Danny, I just don't like you. And that goes for your entire family. Cam became like the coolest big brother. He was ready, willing, and able to physically intimidate anyone I wanted. It was fantastic. I was untouchable. And as Dave said last night, oftentimes friends would come over and we'd pull out the boxing gloves. Now Dave remembers his experience, but there's one specific incident that really stands out for me. And it was actually Brian Herman, who's over at our house, and pulled out the boxing gloves, and Cam hit Brian with a left hook that sent him barrel rolling through the air while he lost like every bit of saliva in his mouth. I don't know that Brian remembers that day, but I do vividly. You know why, Brian? I slept like a baby that day. The rest of that day, I knew I was safe. So satisfying to see a punishment that I otherwise would have received. Cam would also take me out, all the parties. It was fantastic. When he had a big birthday, he'd turn, 18, 21. He'd give me his expired ID, and it worked out fantastic. What are big brothers for if not to get you, booze and cigarettes at underage? I could always rely on Cam for some brotherly advice. Now, this is a story none of you have heard, but it's true. And it's bad. I'm 17 years old, and I'm in bed with my first girlfriend. Let's just say it wasn't working out as expected. I was confused, scared. It was a lot of things. I ran out of the room. I grabbed my cell phone. Went to the bathroom. I called Cameron. What do I do? What is wrong with me? To which Cameron replied, dude, just take off the condom. Thanks, Cam. Dead serious. Not to worry, though. No teen pregnancy resulted from his advice. It's okay. I'm okay. As we grew into adults, we shared a number of late nights, some very memorable trips. Some that stand out were a road trip to Indianapolis. Don't worry, no skeletons coming out of that closet tonight. Midnight dinner in Venice, and going to Amsterdam for my 21st. But that's my skeleton. Sorry, guys. Never once did Cam complain about his little brother tagging along, even though I didn't always make life easy for him. But then again, Cam didn't necessarily make life easy for us. No, he didn't. There's Cameron time where he's perpetually 5 minutes away. He could be on his couch, in his underwear, and doing San Diego, and he'll pick up the phone and, yeah, I'm just 5 minutes away. See you soon. 3 hours later. Secondly, you never want to get stoned with Cameron. He will ask you to take him to the hospital. He will. It's bad. But I think that one runs in the family. And then there's the fact that Cam's never been wrong about anything. Ever. Isn't that right, Catherine? Well, I'll tell you what. Cam got this one right. You can applaud. He's been so many things to me, from a brother to a teacher to a role model. And as hard as this is for me to talk about, when our mom passed away, Cam was really my rock. He was hurting just as bad as I was. And no matter what, he would be there to pick me up at the end of a tough day. And the most important thing to her was that we stick together and be there for each other. So I know she'd be really happy to know that we're as close as we always were since day one. And she'd be very proud of the man that you become. She never got a chance to meet Catherine, but I'm sure she would have loved her. And I'm sure it's been hectic and taken a ton of planning, but I really hope you guys have been able to just take in the day and take a breath and enjoy it. It's a true testament to how loved you are that 120 some odd people made the trip from near and far to be here to celebrate this day with them. So everyone, please raise your glass to Cam and Catherine.
Oh yeah.
Cheers. Love you both.
Having a glass of water?